Hey there, Kenneth French of Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're very, very happy you stopped by. Either you're going to watch this or listen to this because you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably an entrepreneur who's either just starting out or you've been around for quite a while and you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably a real estate investor, maybe even a real estate agent, maybe a professional or of some sort, professional advisor of some sort. And well, you are stopping by because you need some valuable advice from one of the top industry leaders there is. Anyway, thank you very much. Once again, Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Really glad you stopped by. Answers today. Hey there, Kenneth French with Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. But specifically, we're going to talk about joint ventures, strategic alliances, why to do them, the good and bad. I'm going to just speak. This is a solo one, but I'm going to have fun talking about this one because, well, we are just about to launch I'm just going to go ahead and strategic alliance with a company. Going to keep it a little bit secret because it's going to be happening down the road. Now, why are we doing it? Well, that's kind of a good question. It's a really good question. Here's a scenario. We can make X. Let's say we make $1, right? But at the same time, we can continue to make X, continue to make X, continue to make X, and grow and grow and grow at a pretty nice rate, right? Which we have grown, especially now that we're doing so much social media. Which, by the way, any entrepreneur really should be doing social media. It's unbelievable how the impact it's made. I used to shy away from social media big time, and now look at it. We're really growing as a result. I love it. Anyway, but what I would say, plus it's fun doing all these videos, podcasts, webinars, etc. But now let's get back to civics. But at the same time, now sure we could continue to grow and grow and grow. But now, if you really think about it, if there's someone else who's offering another service that we are not, or maybe even complementing our services, or who knows people that we might not know here at vastsolutionsgroup.com, well, think of the melding. So if he's doing, let's say $1, or let's say he in this situation is doing $1, we're doing $1. Well, will it equal $2 if we do a merger strategic alliance? Well, probably not, because of exponential growth. It's probably going to equal $3. 1 plus 1 does equal 3. It's the new math if you really think about it. And what blows me away by this strategic alliance that we're just about to enter into, formally, I would say, well, by the way, we've already entered into it. We have a signed agreement. We're doing a couple of changes here and there, but more than anything, it's going to be launched here pretty soon, publicly. But it blows me away to see, now we've done some math to be able to see what the difference is between our two organizations and what's going to be the result of the merger strategic alliance. So what I would say is, why don't you're probably an entrepreneur. You probably wouldn't be watching this or listening to this if you weren't an entrepreneur. Typically, at least 93% of our people are entrepreneurs in some way. So why wouldn't you think doing a merger or a strategic alliance of some sort? And some people would say, well, here's the situation. I don't want to give up control. I thought about that. I've been in control. We've been running this company since 2006. I was retired, basically semi-retired for 10 years. And it's luckily we're growing. Now, again, we've had really good growth since we've been doing social media, but now we're going to be able to explode. We have in our database, we have 12,000 people. He has 4,000 people in his database. So equals 16,000. But what's going to happen is, now that we have a bigger number, we're going to be able to grow that together. So it's going to go from 16,000 to 18,000 to whatever, 20,000, 40,000, et cetera, because we cover certain things. He might be good at one thing. I might be good at another, or more importantly, maybe our staffs are good at one thing and his staff is good at another. So we're going to be able to complement. It's going to be like a hand in glove, not like OJ. If the glove don't must have quit. Well, what's going to happen is going to be hand in glove. So we're going to end up getting that much better as a result of our our expertise. Now, and you want to work with an electrician. Well, as an example, that electrician might know some people that the plumber doesn't know, and they can do cross-referrals, right? And the goal really as a business owner, in my opinion, there's two things to think about. Number one, well, you got to do R&D. You got to have a good product, have a good service, right? Now, number two, people have got to know about your product or your service, right? So without knowing, won't matter how cool your R&D is, how cool your product or your service is. Well, now the marketing component, obviously I've been slow on the marketing component for all these years, but at the same time, luckily now, again, with social media, it's starting to grow. It's grown to in a big way. Same thing goes for an electrician or whatever, a manufacturer of one thing. Now you want to manufacture something else. You can use the sales guy of another company who is a strategic alliance to make your business grow. So what I would say is it really depends on the circumstance, but generally speaking, I think strategic alliances or mergers work a lot better than some people think. There's a lot of entities out there that can be helped by, striking a strategic alliance. Now, some people would say, and I would agree with this, and it was a concern of mine. Well, control. I would agree with that. You do lose a lot of control, but at the same time, you know, because I'm a, let's say, of this entity, I'm 50% partner, right? But at the same time, if his control, because he's probably to, let's say, the person with whom you're doing a strategic alliance with, well, if they're controlling, but there's different elements of control that you have to think about, and you have to map it out before you enter into the agreement. And then some of your concerns as a business owner, controlling business owner, well, might be assuaged as a result. It's really important to really, and what we've done is we look, for one, we were friends for years, right? But at the same time, then we outlined it on paper so we know exactly what's going to happen going into the deal. And at the same time, if it doesn't go well, we don't like each other, disillusion, we know how to, well, get rid of the deal, if that makes sense. Get rid of the project, get rid of the entity, get rid of, what we've put together. But we're mapping it out well in advance. So that gets over the concern of control. Now, what's another issue? Well, let's say something happens to one of us. One of us dies. One of us has a stroke. God forbid, right? Now, obviously, that could be a concern. There's insurance policies that outline that, because that was one of my buddies when I told him, we're going to be doing this. That was one of his thoughts. He's like, well, what happens if something goes wrong? Well, there's a thing called cross purchase. There's a whole bunch of different insurance policies that outline really some of the risks involved. What he was saying is, well, I don't want to join up with a guy because, well, let's say and his spouse will have to, or he will have to work with his spouse. And I said, no, dude, there's insurance policies that cover that. So what happened is, let's say you die in this example, you out there, John Doe, you die and you're married and you have a partner and he's married, and meaning a business partner. And then all of a sudden, if you die, well, what happened is your spouse, in this case, John Doe, you listener, viewer out there, your spouse gets the money. Let's company's worth whatever, $10 million. $10 million therefore goes to the spouse, or it would be $5 million because it's cut in half. And then what would happen is, well, the remaining partner, who is hopefully going to run it going really, really well, meaning the company, he is going to be able to, and going forward, and he doesn't have to work with the spouse in this case. So you're taken care of in that regard. And hopefully, obviously there's going to be some issues. There's going to be one last person to run it. Hopefully the money will be able to, go into hiring someone in the long term to make sure it's going well. But at least there's a couple of things taken care of. Number one, your spouse is taken care of because they've gotten money in this case, right? Right. To hopefully live. And then the other business owner, the other partner gets the money going forward. So you don't have to worry about anything going forward because, well, they have the money to be able to run it going forward. So anyway, I'm just saying some of the kind of the risks as a business owner for doing a strategic alliance or a merger in that case. I would say it took me a long time to be, pretty okay with thinking about doing a merger. But man, all the things that I know we're going to be able to take care of a lot more client here with our company, which our company is called vastsolutionsgroup.com. We do tax, finance, and artificial intelligence for entrepreneurs, to make sure the entrepreneurs hopefully have lower taxes and also have a higher net worth, because who knows, we've helped them with their finances, with their commercial properties, to make more money going forward, because we've been able to help them get financing for commercial properties. So anyway, once again, I'm going to get ready to close up shop. But basically what I'm saying is, I think strategic alliances, sometimes they're eschewed a little bit too much by entrepreneurs. And just like I was, I was afraid to go into social media, and it's worked out. I was afraid to go into a strategic alliance or a merger with another firm. I know that right now it's already working out. We're already starting to see some places that we can cooperate and really make 1 and 1 equal 3. Once again, Kenna French, vastsolutionsgroup.com, here with Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. So glad you spent time. Oh, as a matter of fact, because you spent time with me this long, here you go. Entrepreneur's Manifesto, a collection of smart financial advice. It's a book I've written. All the articles I've written. I used to write and be a small business contributor for Forbes.com. So this is a copy of some of the articles I've written in book form. It was a manuscript that turned into a book. Again, Entrepreneur's Manifesto, a collection of smart financial advice. Because you've stuck with me this long, you've watched and listened to this, go ahead and email us, info@vastsolutionsgroup.com. Again, info@vastsolutionsgroup.com. Thank you for taking the time. You deserve that book. Fun little time talking about strategic alliances. Thanks for hanging out.